This is Let's Listen, where stories speak, voices connect, and every moment teaches something new. Here we explore literature in a simple, warm, and meaningful way. Let's listen, a space to think, feel, and grow. Today, we're talking about Arthur Conan Doyle's story, The Dying Detective, a mystery where Sherlock Holmes pretends to be at death's door to solve a crime. Let's explore the twists, emotions, and clever plans hidden inside this story. Meera, this story always gives me chills. Imagine Watson walking in and seeing Holmes looking so sick.
Yes, that beginning is so dramatic. Poor Watson doesn't even know what's happening. He just rushes after Mrs. Hudson tells him Holmes is dying.
And the way she says, for 3 days he has taken neither food nor drink, it feels so real.
True. Even Holmes' appearance is scary. His face is thin, his eyes shining with fever, and his hands shaking. Anyone would think he's genuinely dying.
But that is the genius of Holmes. He is acting all the way. Still, Meera, in that moment, Watson doesn't know the truth. He is worried like a true friend.
Yes, and Holmes being rude to Watson makes the scene even more emotional. He says, "Stand back," and even refuses Watson's help.
And Watson, being a doctor, cannot bear it. He says, "Holmes, you are not yourself." It shows the deep bond between them.
Slowly, the story reveals what Holmes is actually doing. He tells Watson that he has a deadly disease from Sumatra.
That's the first clue, because Watson has never heard of such a disease.
Exactly. And Holmes keeps pushing Watson to follow specific instructions. Put coins in the pocket, light the gas halfway, move the ivory box carefully.
Yes, that small ivory box is the center of everything. The moment Watson tries to touch it, Holmes screams. That is when we understand something about that box is dangerous.
And then Holmes sends Watson to fetch Culverton Smith. That is the biggest turning point.
Because Smith is not a doctor. He is the man Holmes suspects, the man connected to Victor Savage's death.
And Holmes knows Smith won't come unless he believes Holmes is almost dead. So the entire illness, the weakness, the drama is basically a trap.
A brilliant trap. When Smith arrives, Holmes pretends to be dying and Smith begins revealing the truth.
Yes, when Smith talks about Victor's symptoms and says he was a dead man on the 4th day, Holmes cleverly makes him confess.
And when he finally asks Smith to turn up the gas, Holmes' voice becomes normal. That is such a powerful moment.
Exactly. Then Inspector Morton enters and arrests Smith. The whole plan works perfectly.
And after all this, Holmes explains to Watson why he was rude. He says, "I didn't want you to know that I was not ill."
And how he acted sick. 3 days of no food and makeup. Holmes literally starved himself to look real.
Only Holmes can do such things. But in the end, he thanks Watson for being a loyal friend.
Yes, that ending is sweet. Even in all the clever tricks, their friendship is the heart of the story.
So, to sum up, this story is a mix of mystery, friendship, and brilliant detective work. Holmes pretends to be dying to catch the real criminal, Culverton Smith, and Watson, as always, becomes the loyal supporter.
A perfect example of Sherlock Holmes' intelligence and Watson's love and trust.
You've been listening to Let's Listen, where every story becomes a conversation from the heart. If today's discussion made you curious, go read The Dying Detective and feel the tension yourself. See you again, only on Let's Listen. Voice to thought, thought to soul.